Greetings, Earthlings, aliens, other miscellaneous life forms, and of course my Moonbeam team, and welcome to Planet Moonstar. I'm MX Moonstar. Now today, folks, we are discussing how to spend your resources in Hello Kitty Island Adventure wisely. Resources in this game are limited, and as a result, we do have to be careful about how we choose to spend them. It's important to make sure you don't run out of collectibles, to make sure you have enough for making gifts, for quests, and to buy things in the shop. This video will tell you everything you need to know when it comes to your resources in Hello Kitty Island Adventure. There are 4 different types of resources in this game. One type is the one that you collect from the ground, so sticks, coconuts, things like that. Then the next one is going to be, oopsie, is going to be the return gift you get when you give a character something. So if I was to give my Melody a Pink Clouds ice cream, she will give me some flour. Next up is something I like to call regional currency. And what I mean by that is all the different regions of the game have some sort of a resource, except for City Town, that you can get 50 of per day, meaning that particular region's currency, and it can be used to buy comics from Badtz-maru's shop, and furniture items and clothing items from Tuxedo Sam, and my Melody shop. The last type of resource you can get would be from your daily visitors. When you talk to them, they will give you a gift. I can't talk to them because I've got somebody who goes around and picks all my visitor gifts up for me, so I haven't got any to claim. But talk to your visitors daily and they will give you an item. It'll be really useful. Some give sticks, some give coconuts, some give toasted almonds, all sorts of goodies. The resources you get from your friends are used to craft the birthday balloons for a particular person. So for Hello Kitty, you will need tofu in order to craft a balloon for her. Also, some of the return gifts can be used to get comics and furniture items and clothing items. Sometimes, like, past event furniture can come back in, and sometimes it will cost like a certain amount of a certain character's return gift, and it's normally the cost is quite high, so it's a good idea to always make sure that you have some spare in case something comes around that you really want. Resources are also used to level up someone when in multiplayer. So somebody comes to your island, then you have those multiplayer levels that you can do. You can get friendship beads, all sorts of goodies, different poses, really cool. And basically, you'll need like a certain amount of a particular resource that's collectible around the island, and you'll need a certain amount of it. So it's always good to have plenty spare, especially if you plan on doing anything in multiplayer. Collecting certain resources are needed each day for particular certain quests. So sometimes you can get daily quests of certain residents or visitors, and they want you to go collect like 3 Cinnablooms or something like that, you know? And yeah, you gotta go do that. Some resources can be in multiple areas. So for example, you've got sticks. You can get some in the Gemstone Mountain, and you can get some in the Seaside Resort as well. Another example would be coconut. You can get coconuts in the Seaside Resort, and you can also get them along the Gemstone Mountain beach. And I think you can get some around the oasis of Gemstone Mountain as well. So let's go over some of the return gifts you need to be careful about how you use and what you do with. So, for Badtz-maru, it's paper which you can use to turn into blank books, and then you can use those blank books to make the Greatest Challenge book, the Interactive History of Chocolate book, and the Future of Everything book. Oh wait, it might not be the Future of Everything actually. I think that one doesn't need a blank book. I think that one just needs stars. Choco Cat's return gift is gizmos. Gizmos are really handy for mechanisms, and there are at least 19 things that come to mind that you will need mechanisms for. You'll need quite a lot of mechanisms. Pangyodong gives you candle nut, which you can use for recipes at the espresso machine, and you'll need like 100 candle nuts in order to craft your very own espresso machine. Hello Kitty gives you tofu, which you can use for recipes and the speedy walking potion, and also, like I mentioned earlier, buying things in the shops. Karopi gives you sugar kelp. Sugar kelp is quite a nice thing I find to use for bait, but you will also need it for recipes, potions, and you'll need it for a particular piece of the yummy furniture as well. Karomi gives you light stones, and these are used to make sparks, and they're useful for making the net as well. Peckle gives you feathers, which are often needed for crafting, buying furniture, comics, and upgrading to double beds. Chacho gives you strawberries, which you can use for recipes. Pom Pom gives you bananas, which you need for purchasing furniture, and you will also need them for recipes as well. Retsuko gives you dough, which you will need for pizza, and you will also need 100 dough to make the pizza oven. Tuxedo Sam gives you thread that you can turn into fabric, which you need in order to craft the designer doll, the mermaid figurine, the different materials, and the souvenir dolls. But you don't really need to craft those last two. It's mostly just the designer doll and the mermaid figurine that you need to craft at the moment. Wish Me Mel gives you honeycomb, which is used in recipes, and to turn beeswax, which is used to craft a whole bunch of candles. My Sweet Piano gives you wool, which you can use to customize furniture and purchase plushies from the plush shop. You will also need it for the cottage items. Big Challenges gives you little challenges, which are used to craft books, and buy the Big Challenges furniture you've already unlocked from my Mel's shop. So if you want like an extra of the sofa he gives you or whatnot, you can get extras of those. Top Hat gives you glitches, which are used to craft the Snow Island stone, power crystal decorations, books, computer, and holograms. However, you just need to mostly focus on the island stone and certain books that require the glitches. And also the computer, because some visitors, do need the computer in order to come and visit. Kiki and Lala both give you Stardust, which you can then turn into Star. Stardust is used for the Star Island Stone and also used for quests, so you will need 250 Stardust for a certain visitor quest. Usahana gives you Rice, which is used for recipes at the chef station. So like I mentioned before, depending on which particular area you're in, you'll be able to collect different things per area. Now some areas do double up and have the same item as another area that you can collect. So we're going to go location by location, just so you can get an idea of what is where and what you need to be focusing on to pick up each day. So in the Seaside Resort, there's 3 game tickets per day. It's very important you make sure you go and pick these up. You can do it within the first minute of being on the game. They're right there when you go on. So it's a good thing to try and remember to pick all 3 of them up. Rubber is also very important, okay? Because you can only get 7 pieces of rubber per day around the Seaside Resort. So make sure you're going around and picking that up. Next up is pineapple. I think you can only get about 9 pineapple per day. So it's very important to go and pick these up. I know I've said that already for other items, but if you are using your pineapples for crafting recipes and whatnot, for gifts and stuff, then you're going to run out very quickly. So just make sure that you are picking them up. Game tickets are used for mini games. Rubber is used for crafting quest items and birthday balloons. Pineapple used for recipes, and you'll need it for quests, and the mermaid figurine and the Sunshine Snuggles book. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to sticks. So you will need sticks for quests, you will need sticks for tools, you will need sticks to make into golden sticks to make the golden crown, and you can get sticks in Gemstone and the Seaside Resort. Next up are sand dollars, and you can get 50 per day. Now sand dollars are kind of important to go around and collect, because a lot of things in this game will actually cost you sand dollars. So things like Hello Kitty furniture, coastal furniture, Hello Kitty's cafe furniture, things like that will definitely cost you some sand dollars. You don't have to go around and collect all 50 of them, okay? Just make sure that you are going around and collecting most of them. You'll also need them to craft anything tropical, and you will also need it for the yummy lamp, the ottoman, and the potted plant, and the sofa. You'll need lotus blossom for crafting fabric, blank books, and the cloud light. Then we've got coconuts, which are also found in gemstone, and they're also found around the Seaside Resort, of course. Now, with coconuts, they're mainly used for crafting at the crafting table. Don't particularly have any food items that are related to coconuts, which I thought was quite surprising when I think about it. You think we'd have some coconut cake or something like that, but no, we don't. We don't really use coconuts in our recipes, only the crafting ones. Next up, we're talking about the spooky swamp, and here you can find mushrooms. Mushrooms are handy for making the yummy dresser and the side table and the swampy items. Pumpkin is next. Now, with the pumpkin, you can only get about 7 of them per day, so treat it like you would rubber in the Seaside Resort. And you can use pumpkin to make a bunch of different things, which are handy to gift other characters, so make sure you're being very careful how you spend your pumpkins. Pumpkins are also used for the yummy wallpaper, sofa, and then we've got apples. So apples are used in recipes and they're used in quests. You can get like, I think it's around about 7-ish per day. Yeah, so you can get 7 apples per day. Glowberries are handy to make magical items, recipes, and they're handy to make potions, and you can only get 7 of them per day. Do be careful how you spend these. As always, glowberries and stuff can be used to buy past event items as well. Then we have spinnips. So you can get 12 of them per day around the spooky swamp. They're useful for the yummy coffee table, lamp, and flooring. And they're also used in Pachacho's energy pop drink. Swamp mallow is next, and swamp mallows are used in a potion, and they're also used in a bunch of different recipes. You can get 15 of these a day, so you can be a little bit more relaxed about how you use your swamp mallow. Next up are starfish. You can only get about 17 of these per day. You will need 20 of them for the bubble wand, and you will also need a lot of these for like crafting things as well. Then we have seashells, which are the currency of the Rainbow Reef, and you can get 50 of these per day. These are really useful for crafting things like the aquatic stuff. Box clams are used to make the bubble wand, the gift box, and the sprinkler hats, and you can only get 7 of them per day, but I believe you can get some from the mini game as well, maybe? Oh no, it's the fishing well you can get them from. Chocolate coin is used to make chocolate chai for cinnamoroll, and it's also used in a lot of crafting recipes, and it's used in the rainstone. Coral milk is used a lot in recipes, and you can get 15 of them per day. So like the swamp mallow, I don't think you need to worry too much about how you use your coral milk. But obviously, if you haven't got very many of them, do be a little bit more mindful, obviously. You don't want to completely run out, you know? Okay, so your next thing is going to be trash, or rubbish as we call it. With rubbish, it will respawn. It's one of the only resources on the island that will respawn within like 30 minutes fully. So it's a good idea to just every now and again, just as you're sweeping all the different areas for all the resources, just to keep popping back to the Rainbow Reef and just pick up some trash, you know, because you will need 10 or so pieces in order to do, I can't remember what it's called, Reef Revival, I think it's something like that. It's where you unlock the plant, the recycling plant, and you'll need 10 pieces of rubbish in order to actually do the thing. Now, Mount Hothead, you can get sand dollars, which are on the beach of Mount Hothead. You can also get obsidian shards. Obsidian shards are used for recipes and the steam stone and purchasing items. You can only get 50 of them per day, so it is Mount Hothead's currency, and they're always dotted around everywhere. somewhere. They can be a little bit hard to miss sometimes because they do blend in with the rocks a little bit, but once you start like finding them daily, you know, you'll be able to find them quite easily after a little while, you know. So you don't have to worry too much about how you spend them, but like I said with other things, just be a little bit mindful about, you know, what you're actually buying. Make sure what you're buying is what you really need / want. It's always good to have some spares rather than not having any spare at all. Now, cinnablooms are used a lot in recipes, which are quite handy to have. And then you've also got iron, which I did just pick up some earlier. Iron is very much needed in all sorts of different ways. So essentially, with iron, you're going to need it for absolutely almost everything. You will need to specifically turn it into ingots. Now, you can get ingots by opening certain chests, and you can get them through the gemstone match mini game. So, you know, like, go around, collect all of your iron ingot chests, and then if you're still stuck for some, go ahead and play the mini game, and hopefully you will get some ingots there as well. Sometimes you have to do it like a couple times because you won't get them like straight away, but once you do start getting them, you'll get more and more of them, and then you'll be swimming in ingots. Iron is also used for purchasing items and customizing furniture, and it's used for quests. It's also used in the snorkel as well. Lots and lots of different things. And the last thing you can get here is toasted almonds. They're used in recipes, and I think they're just recipes. I don't think they're used like anywhere else in particular. Icy Peak is next. So Icy Peak only currently has one collectible, which is the snowsicle, which is here. The snowsicle is used in recipes, and it's used for the Snow Island Stone. The Merry Meadow has seeds. You use these seeds in the ground to get some of the different plants that you can get. So you can get bell button, chulia, and penstemon. Those are your default plants. Now, one is assigned per save, so you and your friend could have two completely different flowers. Your friend could have a bell button, and you could have a dandelion, for instance. And whenever you put a generic seed into the ground, you're going to get one particular type of flower, but you might be able to get different colors of that flower, just the default colors though. Obviously, once you start like going into gardening, like, you can get all the different colors, but we're just focusing on resources at the moment. I do have a flower guide if you need it though. A total of 24 seeds can be found around the Merry Meadow per day. So I don't think you need to worry too much with seeds, but it is always nice to have some spare, obviously. Then we have wormtails, which are used to upgrade the greenhouse, and they also make quite good bait. So with wormtails, for some reason they're classed as a food item. Like I said, you can get like around about 14 of these a day, and they're useful for bait and the greenhouse. So what I would do, I would solely focus on gathering enough wormtails for the greenhouse first before you go around spending them, you know? Pollen puffs are super duper handy. Crafting, buying furniture, clothing, and comics, and of course upgrading the greenhouse. You will need quite a lot of pollen puffs, so make sure you're picking up your pollen puff. Alright, you'll thank me later. Sakura is used for recipes, like cooking recipes. You can get about 14 of these per day, so don't worry too much about using them. Use them when you need to. For instance, My Melody's Pink Clouds Ice Cream, I would highly recommend using them for that. Cloud Island has two resources. One is moon cheese, which is used in recipes, and it's also used for Lala's Freestar gift. You can get like, I think around like maybe 11 or 14 of these per day, so you don't have to worry too much as long as you're going around and picking them all up, of course. Then your next one is Starfruit. You'll need Starfruit for, I believe, Kiki's 3-heart gift. So you can get like 10 of these per day, I think, roughly. I could be wrong with the numbers, by the way. I do get my numbers muddled up sometimes. Yeah, just make sure you have enough moon cheese and Starfruit for their gifts, and sometimes moon cheese and starfruit is needed to complete certain quests as well. Seaweed is a resource that's only available in City Town, and you get it from the sewers, and it's used to craft recipes in City Town. You can only get like, I think it's under like 7 of these per day. Not very many at all, so you do have to be kind of careful how you go about using them. Now, what is the best way to go around and gather your resources? So my advice to you is to focus on one area at a time. Don't go to the spooky swamp, pumpkins, and then go to the merry meadow and look for your CD. Try and get into some sort of routine per day, and once you get into a routine, it'll be so easy for you to go around, and eventually you will get a lot quicker at it as well, and you won't need to spend as much time going around. I do have a video, folks, where I show you how I do it in particular, and I managed to get all my CDs per day. I managed to get all my comics per day, and don't usually run out of resources. I think there's been one time where I ran out of resources on the Switch, but that was because I didn't go around and collect everything one particular day. If you have limited playtime, it is better to focus on the things you really, really need. So if you don't have any rubber, go around and pick up your rubber. If you don't have any game tickets, go around and pick up your game ticket. Focus on the things you've got less of and prioritize them. And make sure as well to go ahead and ask the gnoll that's by the shop to collect things for you. So what are some ways you can optimize your gathering of the things around the island? Well, there are 2 particular friends who have some very useful companion abilities. So Big Challenges here has a vacuum ability, and basically when you go up to an item, he will just automatically pick it up for you without you having to press the A button. Then our other character, who is also super duper handy, is Top Hat. He has a 10% chance to get 2 items when you pick something up, which is really useful for things like weather currency, and it's just useful in general, you know? Bringing Hello Kitty to cook with you and bringing Choco Cat to craft with you is such a good help. It will help you get extra food items and crafting items. Becoming good friends with these characters will mean you can gift them multiple things, which should help your gifting process on the daily go a little bit faster. Maxing out your friendship with a particular character means you can actually go ahead and you can go up to the character, say my Melody for instance. So you're going to ask her a question, and then she's going to be able to find something for you, and you can pick whatever you want from this list. So let's talk about prioritizing your resources. So a lot of the resources are needed to complete quests and all sorts of other things, like purchasing items and gifting, and like I said before, of course, purchasing things from the shop. So it's important to be very picky about what you're spending your resources on. Especially be really picky with things that are needed for the free heart gifts, which you only need to worry about really once you've maxed out a particular character. If you're not yet maxed out with a certain character, you can go ahead and like try and save your resources a little bit for when you do get them maxed out. Because if you go ahead and give a character a gift at max hearts, they will give you back a character box. Now it can come in small, medium, or just the regular character box. The regular one is what you want because there's a chance of having a collector character hat in it. So for now, just prioritize getting the friendship up with everybody, and then you can go in and give everyone their free heart gift. For some characters, their free heart gift is the best thing you can give them. Like my Melody, for instance, the best thing you can give her is her Pink Clouds ice cream. For Hello Kitty, the very best thing you can give her is the future of everything. But also, candied banana coffee is quite a nice thing to give her as well. If you're not yet maxed out with a character, save your resources and go for a gift that's less costly to give, but still gives good friendship points. So here's all the things you need to be careful with. So spend these things absolutely very wisely. Oh, I speak so weirdly, don't I? Anyway, for things like sticks and wood blocks and coconuts, be careful with those because those are needed for the critter totem for Karopi's free heart gift. Chocolate coins, mechanisms, and sparks are needed for Choco Cat's free heart gift. But again, don't worry too much if you're not maxed out yet. And obviously when you do get the character's hat, you don't have to keep giving them the free heart gift. You could save your resources for other things. But you could still give them something. It just means you won't get another chance of getting another hat. So candle nuts, chocolate coins, and a Magna Bloom or a Cinnabloom are needed for the chocolate chai for Cinnamol's 3 heart gift. Cinnamol? Cinnamol rolls 3 heart gift, sorry. Seashells, coconut, and fabric are needed for the mermaid figure for Han Gyudong. Flower, apple, and Magna Bloom are needed for the red bow apple pie for Hello Kitty. Fizzy crystals, Cinnablooms, and pumpkins are needed for Kuromi's 3 heart gift, which is pumpkin spice soda. Cactus cream, candy cloud, sakura are needed for My Melody's pink cloud ice cream. Then mechanisms, feathers, shinies are needed for the mountain soundtrack for Peckle. Now with the shinies, the useful thing with them is you can get 50 of them a day. So that's really, really good. You don't have to go around and pick them up every single day. You know, you can prioritize other things. Nacho, you're going to need fizzy crystals, tofu, and spinips, and that's for his 3 heart energy pop drink. Then it's Mama's pudding for Pom Pom Purin, and that needs coral milk, banana, and a cactus cream. Retzko's 3 heart gift requires 2 mechanisms, 2 sparks, and 2 ingots. Tuxedo Sam's gift is the designer island doll, and it needs sand dollars, fabric, and a gift box. The gift box needs 3 box clams and 1 starfish per box. Now for Miss Wish Me Mel, her 3 heart gift is a rare candle that needs beeswax and patterned flowers. My Sweet Piano's 3 heart gift is the colourful lamb plush, which needs the lamb plush, which needs a stick, and a basic plush, which needs wool from My Sweet Piano herself. Then you need the art supplies, which needs 10 paper, 3 rubber, 5 sticks, and 1 star from Cloud Island. The greatest challenge is Big Challenge's 3 heart gift, and it needs ingots, sparks, and little challenges. And of course, you'll need a blank book, which needs paper from Badtz-maru. The future of everything is Top Hat's 3 heart gift, which needs a blank book and little challenges and glitches and stars. Lala's 3 heart gift is a quattro formaggi pizza. I'm not too sure how you say that. And it requires dough from Retzko, coral milk, and moon cheese from Cloud Island. Kiki's 3 heart gift is the Starry Skies shake, which is a cactus cream, snowsicle, and starfruit. Starfruit you get from Cloud Island, snowsicles you get from Icy Peak. As of writing this, Miss Usahana does not have a 3 heart gift. Now, as you can imagine, having to give the characters their 3 heart gifts is costly, but it is so worth it for the chance of getting their very, very special hats. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the importance of saving certain resources for certain things. So saving your resources for quests and crafting is very, very important in this game. If you spend them without thinking, guys, you can get yourself stuck waiting for the next day to collect more, or even multiple days. So it's very important when you do have a spare minute to actually go around and pick the stuff up. I just bit my tongue then. Ow. Oh, what am I like? What am I like? Okay, so sometimes newer players don't realize that they need to save their resources, and they will just spend them on the wrong thing, and then they go, oh no, why did I do that? You know, ask me how I know, because I did that myself. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but it was around the launch day on Apple Arcade, like a couple days after, and I spent it on something silly. And I was like, oh no, why did I do that? I would also highly advise you to try and save your island bouquets for when you really, really need them. Obviously, if My Melody does have a spare for you, so say you've got 3, My Melody's like, oh, I can't give you another one because you've got 3. Go ahead, collect everything, then use it, and then go and get another one from My Melody. So that way, you still get the benefit of having the island bouquets. but unfortunately you can't hold more than 3. So sometimes you do have to use one, otherwise you will lose it, you know? So there are oh my gosh, look at these two. There are a bunch of cooking stations in this game. So you've got the oven, you've got the espresso machine, you've got the pizza oven, you've got the candy cloud machine, you've got all sorts of different things. The cauldron in Karomi's potion hut. Now, as you progress in the game, you will unlock the ability to craft your very own of these cooking stations. I would highly advise not crafting them straight away because they do take up a lot of your very, very useful resources. And you don't need to, because you can always use the oven and the espresso machine and the pizza oven for free. So you don't need to worry about that in the early game. It's a nice thing once you do have the resources to spend on the things. Okay, so now we're going to talk about trading. So trading is an excellent way of gaining resources in this game, and it's a really nice way to help other people out who might be in the same situation as you. Maybe they need some sticks, and maybe you needed some sticks the other day, so you went on a stick gathering spree. So then that means you can give that person some sticks and they might have something for you, you know? Something for you that you can make use of, something that you need. Now, unfortunately, you can't sell items to our friends in this game, so no selling tarantulas to poor Timmy and Tommy. But like I said, what you can do is go and find another player who might be willing to trade resources with you. Trading can help you when you're running low on certain resources, and if you just need a bit of help in general, like with puzzles or something, you know? When trading, try prioritizing things for your gifts and your quests. Okay, so now we're moving on towards the end of the video now. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks I have for you. So I've got 10 things for you to bear in mind to take away from this video. Because if you're anything like me, you've probably just forgotten everything I've just said for the past 19 minutes. You're like, At least that's what I do anyway. So, number 1, prioritize your quest items and gifting items. Number 2, bring Choco Cat with you for crafting stuff and bring Hello Kitty with you for cooking. Number 3, use your island bouquets wisely. And don't forget, if My Melody does have an extra for you, make sure you go use one, okay? Then I want you to go ahead and make use of trading in the Hello Kitty Island Adventure Discord server. And then number 5, I want you to try and collect as much as you can daily. If you're struggling with like, oh, what's the best way to do it? I do have a roots video where I just like show you how I go around and collect most of the things. I don't collect everything because that's just too much, but I collect most of the things, and I always get all my CDs and stuff like that, you know. But I'll leave that video in one of the cards for this video, which should be like the little eye that pops up, so just keep an eye out for that. Number 6, ask the null to collect for you, don't forget. And you can also ask the null to collect from areas you can't access yet. So for instance, if you're on the first level of the Merry Meadow, you haven't got any of the other areas unlocked, you can ask him or her or they to go ahead and pick some pollen puffs for you, for instance. And the thing with pollen puffs is, I thought I saw a rainflower. The thing with pollen puffs, folks, is there's 50 of them to collect. So if you tell the null, oh, go collect these for me, he'll collect the pollen puffs that are on all the different levels, and that's so useful. And it's especially useful if you haven't got all of the Merry Meadow unlocked yet, you know? Number 7, max out your friendships with your characters and ask them to collect things for you. This is such a big help, honestly, and especially if you can only ask them to collect for you like twice a week or something. Prioritize the days where there's the dance hall event, and prioritize the days to ask them when there is the comedy night, because most of the characters are all in the same place, And it's so handy, you don't have to go running around the island, they're all in the same place. So if you've got your characters maxed out and you're not asking them to go collect things for you because they're all over the island, and I mean, I don't blame you, I don't ask every single character every single day, then just prioritize those 2 days in particular. But that's more so when you get to like the later game, you know? And in the meantime, you should be picking up the things that you really, really need. Use Top Hat's glitch ability to get a possible second item when picking something up. Then go ahead and use Big Challenge's vacuum ability to pick up items automatically for you. This will make the collecting process go a lot faster. And with the null, like I've pointed out before, you can use the collection null to actually tell you how much of a certain item you've got left to collect. You can also do this with somebody you've not actually asked to collect for you yet. So I can check with my Mel here and she'll tell me how much of any of these items are left to collect. So if I've only got like one person I can go and ask to collect something, I can just leave it till the last minute and then I can go around, collect everything and then just check in to make sure I haven't like missed anything major, you know? So, how do you manage your resources in this game? Let me know down below, please. Let me know something that's gonna blow my mind and change the way I play. I would love to know how you guys go about it. Very, very interested to know. Let me know down in the comments and I will give it a little read, maybe a little pin if I think it's like super duper duper useful. Speaking of things being super duper 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 useful, if you found that this video was helpful in any way, could you possibly give the video a cheeky little like and give me a cheeky little subscribe, cheeky on a Tuesday, innit? I don't know why I said that. But I make all sorts of Hello Kitty Island adventure content. I make guides and I play through the game and I just have a really good time with the game. Like the other day, one of the characters told me, oh, go change your look. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll go change my look. I put a pair of sunglasses on and they come straight out. Tinted sunglasses, actually. The Discord now is not the time. Discord's like, yes, I must update now while you're filming. And basically they were like, hey, those sunglasses really bring out your eyes, those tinted sunglasses. So that was funny. We just have a really fun time, you know. And I live stream the game sometimes as well. I try and do it once a week if I can. So I'd really love to see you there, you know. But hopefully this video helps you. Go check out my other videos if you need to. And yeah, I've been MX Moonstar. Ta-ta!